Every few minutes, something steals your attention. A notification, a message, another screen asking for just a few seconds of your mind. We live in the most distracted era in human history. And yet, across the world, people still sit in silence, staring at 64 squares, sometimes for hours. No music, no scrolling, no shortcuts. Just thought. Chess is one of the last places where deep concentration still exists. Not because it demands intelligence, but because it demands presence. In a world designed to fragment your focus, chess does the opposite. It rebuilds it. Welcome to Chess and Beyond. Today, we explore how chess trains concentration in a world designed to destroy it. Why it may be one of the last deep focus activities still widely practiced, and what happens to your mind when you spend time inside the silence of a chess position. Long before smartphones, before social media, before the modern attention economy, players would sit across from each other for hours calculating variations 10, 15 moves ahead. In classical tournaments, a single game can last 5 or 6 hours. One mistake, after hours of thinking, can erase everything. And yet, players return to the board. Why? Because chess rewards something that modern life slowly erodes: sustained attention. Never in human history has attention been under constant attack. Every app competes for seconds. Every platform is designed to keep you scrolling. Every notification is engineered to interrupt. The modern world rewards speed, reaction, and constant stimulation. But it rarely rewards stillness. Studies on attention spans suggest that sustained focus is becoming harder to maintain. Not because people are less capable, but because the environment around them is built for interruption. We switch between tasks constantly. We read while checking messages. We think while being pulled in multiple directions. Deep concentration, the ability to stay mentally present on one single problem, has quietly become rare. And this is where chess stands apart. When you sit in front of a chessboard, the rules are different. There is no reward for distraction. No benefit in dividing your attention. Every move demands that you stay with the position. Every plan requires you to hold ideas in your mind without losing them. Chess does not adapt to a distracted brain. It forces the brain to adapt to focus. A serious chess game is an exercise in sustained attention. Not for seconds, but for long, uninterrupted stretches of thought. When a player studies a position, the mind begins to build a quiet internal world. Possible moves, imagined responses, future positions that exist only in calculation. To hold this mental landscape together, concentration must remain stable. If attention breaks, even briefly, the entire structure can collapse. This is why strong players often appear completely absorbed during a game. They are not just looking at the board. They are maintaining multiple lines of thought at once and protecting them from interruption. Neuroscientists sometimes describe this state as deep focus, or flow, a condition where attention narrows and the outside world fades into the background. Chess naturally encourages this state. There are no flashing signals, no constant rewards, no instant feedback loops. Progress comes slowly, through careful observation and sustained thinking. And over time, the brain begins to adapt to this rhythm. The more you play, the more familiar long concentration becomes. Not forced, but natural. To concentrate deeply today is almost an act of resistance. The modern attention economy depends on fragmentation, short videos, fast reactions, endless switching between tasks. Chess moves in the opposite direction. At first, this can feel uncomfortable. Many new players notice how quickly their attention drifts during longer games. The mind looks for stimulation, for novelty, for escape. But chess offers none of that. Instead, it offers something rare, a space where sustained thinking is not only possible, but necessary. Over time, this changes how a player approaches focus itself. You learn to sit with complexity, to hold a problem in your mind without rushing to solve it, to stay present even when the answer is not immediately clear. In a distracted world, this becomes a powerful mental skill, not just for chess, but for anything that requires depth, patience, and clarity of thought. Something subtle happens to people who play chess regularly. Not overnight, not dramatically, but slowly. Their tolerance for deep focus begins to grow. A longer game no longer feels exhausting. Silence no longer feels uncomfortable. Complex problems no longer demand immediate answers. Instead, the mind learns to stay. Stay with a difficult position. Stay with uncertainty. Stay with the process of thinking itself. This is one of the hidden lessons of chess. Concentration is not just a talent, it is a skill that can be trained. Every serious game becomes a kind of mental endurance exercise. Each move asks you to return your attention to the board, again and again, even when distractions appear. Over time, this repeated return strengthens something essential: the ability to remain present with a single task. And in a world built on interruption, that ability becomes increasingly rare and increasingly valuable. We often think of chess as a game of intelligence, a contest of calculation, a test of memory. But beneath all of that lies something simpler. Chess is a training ground for attention. It teaches the mind to slow down when everything else speeds up, to focus when everything else distracts, to think deeply when everything else encourages shallow reactions. In the age of constant notifications and endless scrolling, this may be one of its most important lessons. Not how to win a game, but how to remain fully present with a problem until clarity appears. If you enjoy exploring the deeper side of chess, its psychology, history, and philosophy, subscribe to Chess and Beyond. Because chess is more than a game, it's a way to understand how we think, and sometimes how we can think better.